Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whichever part of the world you're from. This is Kavita Ramchand from Life Success Coaching in Mauritius. All right, I'm reading you the book You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor, my mentor, and we are on chapter 8 called The Razor's Edge. Very interesting chapter, and I hope you've been watching the episodes. The readings. If you've missed any, you can catch them up on my YouTube channel under the live section because I'm doing this live every Tuesdays and every Thursdays. So let me continue reading the book to you and then I'll explain a bit. He says here most educators will admit, with some coaxing, that the average individual reads at only about a grade 6 or 7 level. The reason for this is that we are taught to read by the time we reach grade 6 or 7, and then we never bother to improve our reading skills beyond that point. You should realize, moreover, that what is true about reading is also true of most other skills which we acquire in life. Once people have become proficient in the basics in any particular field, they usually choose to stop learning. And of course, from that point forward, they cease to improve. You know, great entrepreneurs, great leaders, they are great readers because they are always learning. Okay, so once people have become proficient in the basics in any particular field, they usually choose to stop learning. And of course, from that point forward, they cease to improve. Since this is true of most people, it follows that it is only the small minority of people in any given field who will go on to become the acknowledged experts in their chosen vocation. Therefore, they are the people who can demand and who will receive the lion's share of the income in their field. Just reflect upon the vast difference in the incomes of the actors in the movie The Razor's Edge. So, what the author is trying to say over here is that, let's say, for example, I am doing a business and I've become very good at doing that business. I've learned all the things about the business that I love to do, and I've become really, really good, right? So now what happens is I stop learning. I don't want to learn further. You stop learning, you stop growing in life. You want to make sure that you're always on a learning mode. And I'm blessed that I have a mother who always wants to keep on improving her skills. She keeps reading. She's always been reading. There are like books galore in my house. And just because she kept on reading and studying, it came to me by default. I also would pick up books and read because I saw mom reading, right? So now, if you see, we talked about the actors before in the movie The Razor's Edge. Now, the actors love to act, so they are always learning how to become better at acting. Okay, if suppose they are somewhere and they read an article on acting, for sure they will take that and read it, right? Because it's in their interest, and they become better. They become better. They keep improving their skills, right? Now there were 8 actors in that movie, and 8 other actors were called who looked like them just to do the stunts in the movie that were dangerous. Now imagine that afterwards, when they were all paid, there was like, I think the actors in total, the 8 actors were paid something like $400,000, and the 8 actors who came to replace them to do the stunts, they earned only $8,000. Look up the difference. They look the same. They could have been actors if they wanted to, but they don't see that in them that they can be as good as that actor, though they look the same. And maybe it's not their interest. Their interest is stunts, but they came to do that. But in comparison to the actor, they earned much less, much, much less. And they put their lives in danger. Imagine. Shouldn't they be earning more? because of the risk that they're taking. It's something to think about, right? Taking this information into account, consider the job you're doing presently and ask yourself the following questions. How good am I at doing it? And how much better could I be? Realize that if you would study your chosen field for 1 hour per day, in 5 years' time, you would have studied for 45, 40-hour weeks, which amounts to a full year of study. Basically, Bob is saying here, take out 1 hour per day to study. Study the field that you enjoy. Moreover, since you would only be studying for 1 hour, you would have been able to give the material your undivided attention, because you know you are just going to do it for 1 hour. So you'd really keep everything aside and study. Therefore, it would actually be the equivalent of a full year of concentrated study, even if you just took out 1 hour a day. This means that by the end of the first year, you would have already put in 9 40-hour weeks of invaluable study time. Although this amounts to only 1 hour of study per day, if you were to follow the schedule rigorously in a relatively short span of time, you would stand among your peers like a giraffe in a herd of field mice. So I want you to think about this. What does it cost you to take out 1 hour a day just to study? Like, say, for example, somebody who loves art, painting. Anything that is related to painting is going to catch their attention. They want to know better. How can I do this better? How can I make it more beautiful? What are the new trends, new ways of doing things? You know, just the other day, I went for a swimming class, and it was an aqua gym class. So there was a lady who was taking the class, and she made us use these bands, the elastic bands in water. And the exercises she made us do is like you're in a gym doing weights. I'm like, wow, I had never seen something like that before. And but that's her expertise, that's her field, and she wants to get better at it. So you come up with new ideas of doing things. People come up with new ideas, and then they make it happen. And you want to be somebody who's a creator of ideas, your stock goes up, your value goes up. But you can, everybody can. But the only thing is, are we doing it? Are we studying to become masters at what we love to do? Or are we just going to be followers? We can become masters by just focusing on studying the field that interests you, because you know how to read and write. But do you improve on your skills? Let's say uh, you're in a shop. You have achieved so much success, right? But there's still scope for improvement. There's always scope for improvement. You can always make your business better and better and better. There's no limit, I think, to how much we can make things better. But are we studying that field? Are we reading about it? Are we gathering more information about it? This is very important, guys. And if we put this into practice, we will really cause our income to go up, because we will become so good at what we do. And you don't need to have a rocket science degree for this, isn't it? Unless your field demands that, you cannot. Uh, that also, I feel you can. Like, you can become a doctor today just because you have some kind of healing skills, but you don't have a degree. And the world recognizes degrees. Unfortunately, we've given more importance. Albert Einstein said this. We have given more importance to the intellectual mind rather than the intuitive mind. Like, we've made one the servant when it's supposed to be the master. So think about this. The people who built the aeroplane, the Wright brothers, they were simple bicycle mechanics. I don't know how educated they were, but they were just simple bicycle, ordinary mechanics. They have given the world the aviation industry. something to think about. And a lot of people feel because they don't have a degree or they don't have an education, they cannot do something. That's not true. Bob Proctor was not highly educated. In fact, a lot of people who have gone more in the field of education, their IQs are very high, but their EQ is very low. Their IQs are very, very high. They may have degrees over degrees, and yet they may not have a happy life. They may not have a fulfilled life. So think about all this. So thank you very much for being here on the call, and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye bye. Have a nice day.